So a lot of you have been asking me to do a video on how I edit my Instagram photos. I absolutely love Instagram. It's absolutely my favorite social media platform. So I'm happy to show you guys how I go about editing my photos so that you can edit all of your travel Instagrams just like I do. So first off, I almost always Instagram photos that were actually taken on my DSLR camera and not my iPhone, just because the quality is that much better. That being said, you can definitely take some really great photos on your smartphone these days, so feel free to do that. So I always start editing my photos in an app called Afterlight, which is kind of like a mini Photoshop. I'm gonna start with my photo of this row of colorful houses in Notting Hill because that's the photo that to this day has had the most likes out of any of my Instagram photos. So I first start with the basics. Clarify is kind of like an auto enhance, so I usually bump that up a bit. I also increase the brightness and the contrast. Even just those three things can really do a lot for a photo. On this photo, I decreased the highlights because the sky was a little bit too bright and harsh. And because the color of the houses is the focal point in the photo, I increased the saturation so that the colors really pop. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do to this photo in Afterlight. So I saved it and then opened it up in an app called Facetune. This app is meant to be for editing faces and people in photos, like a selfie editor, but I use it for pretty much everything besides that. I'm gonna start with the details tool, which basically lets you increase the contrast in certain spots of your photo, which can help make some details pop. Here I applied it on the houses and along the fences, but not anywhere else. And for this photo, this is the only thing that I've used Facetune for, so I'm gonna go ahead and save it and upload it to Instagram. If you're editing a photo that is not in Square, make sure you save it to your camera roll and then upload it into Instagram, otherwise you won't be able to scale it and make it not square. Okay, let's do another one. This one also happens to be in Notting Hill, but that's okay. I'm starting off with Afterlight again with the same edits I did before. Increasing the clarity, brightness, the contrast, and also a teeny bit of saturation so that that greenery in the corner can stand out. I'm adding a filter to this photo. I usually use the same filter for just about every photo on my Instagram account. It's called Russ. The main tool I'm going to use for this photo in Facetune is Whiten, which is meant to be for whitening teeth, but I use it for things like walls and plates or anything that's white in the photo, but that looks a bit dull. So I'm just whitening the wall here and also the sign. And once I'm done with the whiten tool, I'm also going to apply the detail tool to the sign so it's super clear. And that's it for this one. Okay, this is the last photo I want to show you guys. A lot of times, especially when you're traveling, you might take a photo that is absolutely perfect except for one little ugly thing that's standing out, like a crane or a street sign or something that just really takes away from the photo. So after doing my usual edits in Afterlight, I'll use the patch tool in Facetune to get rid of any of these ugly bits and pieces. So for this photo, I really want to get rid of this crane. It's just really taking away from the skyline. So I'm using the patch tool, and it takes a while to use the patch tool, but if you have the patience, it can really take your photo from good to great. I was able to patch over the crane with bits of the sky that was surrounding it. When I was done with that, I also went in and used the color picker tool and just covered it up a bit more with some gray. And then also used the smoother tool to smooth out the clouds and make them more cloud-like, I guess. So it looks much better now. So that's how I do it. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below if you have any other apps or tools that you use when you're editing your photos for Instagram. Every Thursday, I put up a new travel tip video, so subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. Bye! How to pack the perfect carry-on bag. First off, whenever I carry on, I take two different bags. One is a suitcase that's gonna go in the overhead compartment, and one is